Okay, at this time I'm going to provide an update on Saturday, May 27th of 2017, Saturday. The update is that the Office of Inspector General of the United States Justice Department has informed me on yesterday, being Friday, May 26th of 2017, that in order for it to open an investigation against the FBI for taking bribes and otherwise failing and refusing to discharge her duty to investigate alleged crimes against the United States, as I have brought, it needs names. When I informed the Office of Inspector General that the FBI has told me on May 25th, 2017, I guess that would be Thursday or Wednesday, regardless what day it was, but it was the day that my wife and I went over to the FBI. My wife was unable to enter the FBI because she had lost her ID. And so we had to go get another ID so she can enter the FBI. We finna place the FBI on official notice that my wife, Brandy Charles, 23, I'm now 51, and I will be self-imposing a food and water strike at the FBI to expose the bribe that the state judge has taken in the matter of Caden Lee Whitfield, in the interest of Caden Lee Whitfield. The judge in this case did not act to protect that which need not be protected. He acted to protect Hermann Memorial Hospital from a multi-million-dollar lawsuit just by our son alone. He acted to protect the same hospital against a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that will be filed by attorneys representing my wife for not only taking her baby from her, as CPS has done, but also even taking her, lying on her to defraud the federal government in health insurance fraud. All this is very lengthy, it's long, complicated, not complicated, but will take a long time to explain. Just want to keep this simple. So the FBI will be coming under investigation by the Office of Inspector General because the FBI agents here in Houston, Texas did not give their names. The FBI the Office of Inspector General need their names to conduct an investigation, a complaint against these agents, special agents not performing their duties to go get my child. The reason why they have to go get my child are as follows. You've already, I'm sure, and I'm speaking to attorneys from other states such as New York, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Connecticut, Florida, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, or any other state within the United States that do not, they are licensed to practice, such attorneys who are licensed to practice law in the state of Texas but do not live in the state of Texas and therefore are not on friendly relationship with judges and Harris County attorneys and district attorneys because they are implicated in this lawsuit. On May 6th, my wife of 2017, being Saturday, indicated to me that she had a severe toothache. I took my wife to Memorial Hermann Hospital for Children, whatever its correct name is, but understand this is very important. Hermann Memorial Hospital or Memorial Hermann Hospital is a corporation. A corporation is treated as a person. This corporation is registered in the state of Texas with the Secretary of the state of Texas to do business in the state of Texas as Memorial Hermann Hospital. Herman Memorial Hospital is a corporation, so it employs people. It has a board. Well, I don't have time to go through all that. I'm just doing this so you know that people that work in there can be subject to prosecution for acting on the color of law that our Secretary of State, is operating under the laws of the state of Texas. So it is registered to do business under the laws of the state of Texas. So it is clothed with the authority of the state of Texas, the corporation, and its employees to do business. So therefore, these employees are acting under color of law. The sun is getting kind of hot, so let me move around. Make sure this doesn't fall in water. Okay. Under Title 18, United States Code Section 242, whosoever acting under color of law, which means a person is pretending to be acting under color of law, purporting to do something that for that which the law does not accord such person no legal authority to do at all. So this is what it's meant by pretending to be authorized to do things. Now, when I took my wife to the hospital on May 6, 2017 with a severe toothache, she went in there. They got their procedures, their protocol. So what's wrong? You state what your complaint, your medical issue is, and they take down information. They go in their system. They know that my wife has, because she's been there before, they know that she has Medicare insurance, or insurance that is paid by the federal government. They want to defraud the government by alleging that my wife indicated or told them that she was hearing voices which told her to kill herself. My wife has denied and repeatedly denied, and she's gullible too, that she ever told anyone this. She admits that she told them that she was hearing voices, but she denies that she told them that these voices were telling her to kill herself. Not only did she deny that voices told her to kill herself, but even if they had told her to kill herself, would you have done that? Hell no, I'm not gonna kill my goddamn self. She crazy. I can't control what they tell me. I do hear them, but I just hear them. They cannot. I need not go in there because I kind of teach my wife how to deal with these voices. That the mysterious organ known as the brain has been a source of wonder. Protected as it is by the thick bones of the skull, the brain has never been easily studied. In fact, so little was known about the brain that it was not until after the 14th century that its basic function was finally understood. Before this time, most scholars believed that the heart in the center of the body controlled thoughts and feelings. This belief was based upon the observation that when the heart stopped beating, life stopped and the body became cold. So I go on and teach my wife how to fuck over these voices because I've studied the brain when I was incarcerated. Now, why people would think something's wrong with me, I really don't know. I don't have time for that because I'm in pursuit of becoming a millionaire so I can do God's work. I don't got time for the state slowing me down or anyone else. I'm always in a hurry. I'm on a mission. I don't got time to talk with. Okay, I digress, whatever that means. I arrived at the hospital. I park in the front of the hospital. You can only be parked there for a certain amount of time before you might find your vehicle having been towed. So when I entered this hospital, let me back up, make sure I got who, what, when, where, why, and how in here. On May 6, 2017, Saturday, my wife told me that she had a severe toothache. I took my wife to Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston, Texas, in the medical center, along with our baby, 8-month-old Caden Lee Whitfield. I left her there and went back so that my uncle, Michael Ray Whitfield, and I could complete changing a transmission screen on a vehicle. In less than 30 minutes, having arrived back to where I had been previously working on this vehicle, I received a call from my wife, Brandy, at the hospital, and she informed me that I needed to return to the hospital and get our baby. Having so done, arriving at the hospital, I parked at the front of the hospital in the entrance, and one is allowed to park there for maybe 10 minutes. So I'm in a hurry now. So I go in the hospital, I go in recording. I normally always do this, for the reason I not sit out here. People like to lie a lot. And when I get in the back where my wife was being held, I asked her, what's the problem? And her words were, they're trying to act like, and I cut off, ain't no acting. I'm in a hurry, I'm busy, ain't no acting. What's going on here? Then I see people walking around and I ask, what's the problem here, please? And I heard someone stated that she's not free to leave. And I asked, who's not free to leave? Am I not free to, who's not free to leave? And she's not free to leave. That's my wife. When I stated that's my wife, I have a right to know why my wife is not free to leave. God gives me a right to know this, and the Constitution is going to protect me in that right. I have a right to demand why my life. They refuse to tell me. I'm already recording. So, what happened next? I don't know if I didn't ask my wife. I ask my wife, what did you tell these people? And she stated that I told them that I was hearing voices. Then someone else stated that you're not allowed to record without giving me the policy, citing me the policy. There's no policy at the front of the hospital stating like you cannot carry in a firearm in here. What the policies are. I didn't see anything posted in the hospital telling me that I cannot record my own. It's a private hospital, but the public is admitted during, the public at all times, 24 hours. The public is admitted. It may enter this hospital for medical reasons or whatever. And so if I'm allowed to bring in my cell phone, then I'm allowed to use my cell phone. If the hospital corporation moves to have internal policies that do not conflict with the federal Constitution, 14th Amendment, 5th Amendment, or any provision of the hospital, if it does not conflict, then it can make internal policy. But for the hospital, if it have a policy, I haven't seen it, so I can ignore what they tell me, because you have to prove what your alleged. Because if you sue the state of Texas, trust me, saying that the judge violated your rights, they're going to tell you naked allegations are insufficient to support relief. An applicant must come forward with some proof of his or her allegation. Telling me that I cannot record because I cannot record is insufficient to support relief. You must come forward with proof that the 14th Amendment authorized the Texas Memorial Hermann Hospital with authority or right to restrict the public in their 14th Amendment protection, that God gave them the right to property, and therefore we see fit to use our property as we want. Now, nevertheless, because I don't have time to be arguing with people right now, I'm not parked. I mean, I'm legally parked, but then I'm not. I will become illegally parked if I don't get up out of here soon enough. So I turned my phone recorder off, and I asked my wife while the phone is off, are you feeling suicidal? Her response was no. I asked her, did she have any plans to hurt anyone else? And she said no. And I asked her if she wanted to hurt herself, which is the same when I asked her whether she was feeling suicidal, and as I just indicated, stated that she told me no. Then, if you're not, since she's not, according to her own words, feeling suicidal, since she has no plans of hurting anybody, then the hospital has no legal authority for holding her. The only way that my wife, and this is not the law itself, it's just a summary or synopsis of the law. It's from United UT Health, Texas University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, court-ordered and involuntary services. It reads as follows. Arrangements to obtain a court order for a mental health service may be made through the Mental Health Division of the Harris County Clerk's Office, located at HCPC 2800 South McGregor Way, Houston, Texas 77021. It is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, except holidays. The telephone number is 713-741-6024. Anyone over the age of 18 who has personal knowledge of someone that they believe poses a danger to himself or to herself or to others may request a mental health warrant. Involuntary commitment process for adults. To begin, it's only one page. The involuntary commitment process, the applicant, parenthesis, open, person who is filing for commitment, close parenthesis, requests and completes an application for a warrant from the Mental Health Division of Harris County Clerk's Office at HCPC. MHMRA staff located at HCPC screen applicants once bed is available. A warrant may then be issued by the Harris County Clerk's Office. The whereabouts of the person must be known so that the Harris County Deputy Constable, not some Montgomery Constable, Miss Kathy at the, okay, I'm not need to go there. Harris County Constable may take the person to HCPC. The HCPC, which stands for Harris County Psychiatric Center, I've already told you where it's located, South McGregor. Physician. That physician must provide a medical certificate within 24 hours of the patient's admission in order for the court to determine if it is necessary to issue an order of protective service, OPC. Once the OPC is issued, an attorney is appointed to the case. Probate. See, this is why my wife finna become a millionaire. This is why Donald Trump is finna win now on his health care bill, because here in Harris County, United Health Care, my wife is receiving SSI benefits from Social Security Administration. It pays for this. Probate courts number 3 and 4. Now you're going to see why they charge me, the hospital line, claiming that I committed child abuse. This is where this is going. Damn fools. In the Bible say, call no one a damn fool. Proverbs. Damn fool. This is why Jesus said you cannot, what I want to tell you, you cannot endure what I want to tell you about when the comfort comes. John 16, verses 7 to 15, and located at HCPC, and may be contacted by calling 713-741-6020. Within 72 hours of the issuance of the OPC, the probable cause hearing is held, in which the judge determines whether to hold the person at HCPC. Why is my wife up in a private hospital where it costs the government $5,000 when my wife walks in the door? $5,000? Walking in the door? Yes. Her bed will be $800 per day, not including doctor's fees. The taxpayers paying for all this. Again, within 72 hours of the issuance of the OPC, the probable cause hearing is held, in which the judge determines on whether, I like to use these prepositions, but a lot of people don't, on whether or not, I like to, but I'm not writing this, so keep it simple, Wayne. Where's word what? To hold the person at HCPC until the mental health hearing. The applicant does not have to be present at the hearing. The mental health hearing must occur within 2 weeks of detention. In Harris County, this final hearing is usually within 8 days. Where? Class, in Harris County. During the mental health hearing, the court determines the appropriate treatment based on testimony provided by the applicant, usually a family member or a friend, medical expert, and the patient. The result of the hearing may be 1, dismissal, a court order for outpatient treatment, or inpatient hospitalization, involuntary commitment process for children and adolescents. Do you not, if you've seen the video, do you hear this Caucasian woman when I ask her, why are you holding my wife? And she wouldn't answer that, steady saying that she cannot leave because she cannot leave? This is the reason why my wife cannot leave, because since they're lying, and that's a crime, because they're acting under color of state law. I'll talk about that later. The reason why my wife cannot leave is that my wife received supplemental security income. My wife has Medicare. So my wife's insurance will pay a private hospital and Hermann Memorial Hospital for her medical treatment that they render. So we will bypass the law, go around fuck the law. This is what this is about. This is what we call racketeering. It's a federal offense. This is called insurance fraud. This is what this was about. This is why. Okay, let me continue with the information. Again, they get $5,000. She's threatened to kill herself. Oh, let's rush her. We got an ambulance. Let's get her to. This will take her, send her to behavioral hospital of Bel Air. Can't do that. Texas law don't let you do that. You got to take her. It's a process you have to do. When I asked the staff at the hospital, see, look what I'm doing. People assume that the American people are just stupid. And they treated me, I was presumed to be stupid. Brandy. They assumed that I was stupid. Why are you holding her? Do you have a court order? You don't have a court order. I already know you don't have a court order. Do you have orders from 2 doctors? You don't have orders from 2 doctors. You don't have this. You never had this. To hold my wife. So you can't hold my wife. Nevertheless, if they can get, I believe it's 2 dogs. At least this is what the procedures. I just haven't taken time. We have the family code, Texas Health. I read it, but I just didn't make my notes. But the hospital has to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't hold me on it, there has to be 2 doctors to deem at that hospital where my wife was being held that she was a threat to herself or to someone else, such that they agree with each other that she should be detained for a mental evaluation. The law may allow them to do that. I can't recall right now. But for my purpose here, those doctors had to begin the involuntary commitment process, request and complete an application for a warrant from the Mental Health Division of the Harris County Clerk's Office at HCPC, Harris County Psychiatric Center. That's what they had to do. Rather than doing that, my wife was taken to another private corporation and was taken in. And when that occurred, that's when the federal government was defrauded in her health care insurance, $5,000, just right there, just for walking in the door. Then they were defrauded, federal government was defrauded for the payment of her bed, $800 per day, not including the doctor's costs and all the other costs. You see what this is about? You see how this works? I go over to the FBI. Well, am I getting ahead of myself? Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I'm going over to then this doctor at the hospital where Herman Memorial transported my wife the next day by way of ambulance. Damn the clerk's office and the Harris County's own county hospital for that. Damn all that. They transfer her to where they wanted her to go. That's illegal. That's a crime. This doctor, Dr. Cardona, tells an FBI agent who identified himself to that doctor and to me as Special Agent Brian Collins. I have audio of me from right here standing out in the yard, talking video and phone audio, talking to Special Agent Brian Collins, who had been told on Monday, May 8, 2017 by this doctor while he was conducting an official investigation that my wife was being held pursuant to this warrant. A warrant may then be issued by the Harris County Clerk's Office that she was being held pursuant to. No, these people don't even know my wife. Never heard of her. But he told the FBI agent conducting an official investigation, and it's a crime, according to former FBI Director James Comey, to lie to the FBI when it's conducting an investigation, because Congress asked him whether or not former U.S. Secretary of State Miss Hillary Clinton was under oath when she was being investigated, and to which he responded to Congress, no, but it's still a crime to lie to us. So when the doctor lied to the FBI agent, Special Agent Brian Collins, he committed an offense because he was conducting an official investigation because they were detaining my wife without this warrant. Keep on playing me for being stupid. You will continue to lose. Now back at the hospital, after I was told by another staff member, whomever this woman was, you cannot be recording. I turned off my phone. My wife, I asked her those questions, and then my wife, not I, if I can remember correctly, My wife said she strapped my child in the seat, his car seat, and then I left. But before I could leave, senior officer of the Houston Police Department providing security for the hospital asked me to hold up for a minute. He'd like to speak with me about what was going on because he wasn't there. So I said, okay. Not knowing that I was asked to hold up by that officer, my wife thinking, because evidently her concerns turned to me getting in trouble for whatever reason. So she became a little upset, a lot upset, started, leave, such that if you don't, and if my baby get taken by CPS because you keep up here tripping with these people, I'm gonna fuck you up, her words. When I heard her make that threat, and I tell her all the time to don't give people your remote control to be pushing your buttons, not even me. Don't let me or anyone else push your buttons. Be aware of that. Be conscious of people pushing your button. Let's send Brandy to jail today. Okay, you do this. You come along. You just happen to walk up when it's done, and you do that. She's gonna do this, and then we'll call the police and get this bitch in jail. Don't let people do you like that. So there was no need for her to tell me this, because I'll be telling her, I tell her that. I don't need you to guide me because I study psychology. Damn fools. I know how the brain works. I know that if I touch this finger touches a hot iron, that the chemicals in my brain will receive a signal from my finger having touched a hot iron, and that will be transmitted, that signal from that hot iron to my brain relayed, and my brain will receive that signal from chemicals, and it will process such information, and it will in turn send a signal to my goddamn finger telling it move, and you will hear me say ouch. Don't tell me shit about the goddamn brain. Don't come at me with that stupidity about I suffer from a mental illness. I study the goddamn brain. And all that shit about calm down, like I told them constables at the court, I want to calm down. That's the goddamn problem. You people been out here too goddamn calm. You want to wait till you go to football games and basketball games when you see a man hit a bucket and get all excited and out of control. Whereas when the government is fucking over you, meaning people employed by the government that you elected. I ain't elected none of these son of a bitches in office. You elected these motherfuckers, and they fucking over you, and you just calm. I don't want to be goddamn calm when they fucking over me. Fuck wrong with you? And you wonder why Jesus said, you cannot bear this now when the comforter comes. You goddamn right you can't bear it. You let these motherfuckers get away with this bullshit. You've seen the videos. You need to hear what they said. CPS. CPS has sued me through the Harris County Attorney's Office for my child. Because Hermann Memorial Hospital does not want to be exposed for racketeering and healthcare fraud. Defrauding you of your tax dollars. What do you think our federal government gets this money or cash to pay for our health care? Where do you think this money's coming from? Who print up the money? That's why I correct people. I don't make money. That's counterfeit. I earn it. You make it. I don't want no. Okay, I'm not go all into that. We have a Federal Reserve, a private bank that print up the money, the paper, and it's supposed to be bagged by gold. Where's this gold coming from? Where's this gold at? You making me go here. You don't want the public to know? Quit fucking with me then. CPS has this. These are the charges against me. And my wife had nothing to do with this, but they charged her for the same thing. And it reads, present referral or allegation. On May 6, 2017, the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, hereinafter TDFPS, the agency and or the department, received a referral alleging by who? Physical abuse of 8-month-old child, Caden Whitfield. My child name is Caden Lee Whitfield. This is a legal proceeding now? That's not my child then. By his father. Jesus said there's only one father, and your father is in heaven. I'm not his father. I'm his dad or his daddy. I will never represent myself as his father. That is not my child. That is God's child. God put him in my possession to take care of him, to raise him, teach him right, not to listen to Beyonce, Lil Wayne, Drake. We don't do all that. Ronald Whitfield, that's not me. My birth certificate it's a public record. Anyone has access to it. It is recorded in the state of Texas on record for the world to see that my name is Ronald Dwayne Whitfield. It's not spelled in all capital letters. I'm flesh and blood. They got the wrong party. I was born in 347 on Tuesday, May 24, 1966 AD. This is a legal proceeding. You must be suing one of the people on Facebook named Ronald Whitfield. My name is Ronald Dwayne Whitfield, and my name is not spelled in all capital letters. It is alleged by who? That on May 6, 2017, Mother Brandon Charles, objection, Your Honor. My wife's name is not Brandon Charles. My wife's legal name, because this is a legal proceeding, right? Okay, then her legal name is Brandy Renee Charles. Just like you want to identify who the Texas Department of Family and Protective Service is, your legal identity, here and after, okay, you must sue. If I done told you, you got the wrong baby. Give me back my goddamn. My wife's name is Brandy Charles, okay? Arrived at Memorial Hermann Hospital, complaining of tooth pain, and told staff that she was having significant mental health issues. Now, before I go any further, this is information given to the Harris County Attorney's Office and an Harris County Assistant Attorney who did not witness anything, is not a witness, cannot testify in court because has no personal knowledge. The Assistant Attorney, what's her name, has no personal knowledge. The investigator investigating Mr. Paul Gonzalez, employed with CPS, which is a child of the Texas Department of Family Protective Service, an agency within that agency, has no personal knowledge. Therefore, this is not fact. This is not fact. Personal information must be based upon fact. So, therefore, it's hearsay. And hearsay in a court of law has no probated value. And as the justices of the United States Supreme Court has put it, quote, testimony is incredible as a matter of law if it relates to facts to which the witness could not possibly have observed, or to events which could not possibly have occurred under the laws of nature, unquote. For example, in a criminal case in which I was sued for a liberty that God gave me, a Caucasian woman testified that a 30-year-old tree, maybe 50 years old, grew up overnight. And that's why she could see me backing out of her garage window. Like I would be even so stupid enough, I haven't broken into someone's garage. I would be a damn fool to back out the one to get my butt blowed off. I wouldn't ever do that. I would come to the window and I would look out, make sure nobody's out there. Then I would stick one foot out the window and the next foot out, not to come out the window, which is what I did. So, testimony is incredible if it relates to facts which could not have occurred under the laws of nature. So, Paul Gonzalez and the Assistant Harris County Attorney, they are not fact witnesses to what is recorded here. They cannot raise their right hand and testify to the truthfulness of these allegations which are alleged. I know they got nothing. We need whoever this is alleged to swear this out with setting out probable cause. Well, that's what probable cause is. Probable cause. The allegations. What happened, who, what, when, where, why, and how. So when we want to talk about probable cause, that's what you look for. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. It must be based on someone having personal knowledge. Someone who swears to that, and if they be caught lying, will be held accountable, criminally and civilly. Including hearing voices that were telling her to kill herself. Miss Charles has been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Objection, Your Honor. No proof. Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. They don't want to prove. How you going to prove all this? That's going to, see how this finna go? They don't want to go through all this here. Objection. Overrule? No. You can't overrule it. It's hearsay. No exceptions to no rules. Hearsay. It has, the laws are really on both the criminal side and civil side. We need to find out who said this. Subject this person to cross-examination. She was very compliant, open. What does open mean in this context? Let's look for context clues. I taught myself English grammar. You're not dealing with a damn fool. And concerned about what? But once, if we look back, which we would employ antecedent, then we would know we're talking about her being diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar, or if not, then compliant. That would be the object upon which it's been touched upon. She was very compliant, open, and concerned. But once Father Ronald Whitfield, objection, Your Honor, who is this? I know I didn't say objection about Miss Charles either, but once he arrived at the hospital, the two parents got into a verbal argument. You used the word once he arrived. You saw the video. When I arrived at the hospital, did my wife and I get into a verbal altercation? No, we did not. And Miss Charles told Mr. Whitfield that, I'll put that in a clause, my English grammar told me that it would be rich here than just to leave that out in the syntax of the structure of the sentence and proceed on with if, which is conditional. The child, Hayden Whitfield, was removed from her by whom? Then she was going to kill Mr. Whitfield. But the video does not support this. The video shows that my wife said that if our child got taken by CPS, she was going to fuck me up. Not that she was going to kill me, unless it is to be understood that fuck me up means she was going to kill me. And if she was going to kill me, is that the same as going to murder me? Lightning may kill me, a train may kill me, but only a human can murder me. Moses murdered a man, premeditated. Mr. Whitfield stated that the mother did not need any help. Mr. Whitfield reportedly has a negative effect on the mother and is not putting Cajun safety first. Have we heard of the child abuse yet? The father had to be escorted off the property by security. Why? Due to his yelling and screaming at hospital staff that the mother was being held at the hospital against her will. That's a whole paragraph, over 500 words. Well, not 500 words. Looks to be about at least 100 words here. But there's no allegation of child abuse. I will tell you what Texas law says constitutes child abuse. CPS, nobody else can give child abuse a definition. Only the legislator can do that. There's one more paragraph, and if we don't find child abuse here, then there's no basis. That's what the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure would sanction the Harris County Assistant Attorney for bringing a baseless lawsuit against me, baseless, frivolous. The court would have no jurisdiction. It's frivolous. Your pleaders have to invoke the jurisdiction of the court and this is done by stating the elements of the offense, or in this case, child abuse. You have to set out the elements, the facts. For example, earth, wind, fire, water, various natural gases. These are elements of our universe. I mean, God's universe. Everything belongs to God. It's not ours. Without these, initially, life can never exist. Now, if all these elements existed at the time of creation of life, they all showed up to the party, the elements of the universe. Say, for example, that water ceases to exist. If water should ever cease to exist, life would stop existing. Everything would die that has life. So it is when you are alleging an offense against the state of Texas or against the United States, but we're talking about jurisdiction. If no jurisdiction exists at the time that the lawsuit is filed, jurisdiction will not come into existence with the passage, I almost bit my tongue, of time. I'll say it again. If there is no if there be, I'm now speaking not in it. And the English language has 3 moods, and sometimes that's why I do like I do, because I'm conscious of that. We have imperative, subjunctive, and command. Those are the only 3 moods in the English language. So when you hear if, whether, you should, ought, strictly speaking, must, not shall, as one justice of the United States Supreme Court did when he was talking about whether or not the 6th Amendment imposed upon the government duty to, whether or not there was a duty, a right by God, recognized by the 6th Amendment, that a person has a right to counsel, I guess, at government expense. So he was shifting from subjunctive to, I think, from subjunctive to indicative mood. So now where I'm going with this is that, I lost my train of thought, I believe, here. Okay, well, it was here. I was talking about, wherever I was, I'm only saying this in the English language. If you or did if I'm saying if the word if it's on the condition or provided, not actuality. I got to admit I lost where I was going with that chain of thought. But I was just explaining that you do not shift back and forth from, you maintain consistency. So if you start out in the subject, if there be, don't switch to is, the verb is, or are. In the sentence, if you start off, if there be, you must remain consistent in the subjunctive mood. But anyway, so then the second paragraph, okay, yeah, I guess, you know, okay. Mr. Whitfield stated that he was a lawyer and knew the president. While the father was screaming and ranting, he was observed holding Caden incorrectly under his arm. He was instructed by who to place Caden in the car seat before he dropped the child. And he did, but he did not strap the child in the car seat. He then picked up the car seat and began swinging it around the car seat, which housed or held the child, who is not, according to this, strapped in. Therefore, should logically follow that were this true, the child would have come out of the car seat if I had been swinging the car seat around, while still yelling and screaming. He then picked the car seat up and began swinging it around with the unstrapped child in the seat. But somehow, the child did not fall out the car seat. And this is why the Supreme Court justices said that testimony is incredible as a matter of fact and as a matter of law if it relates to these alleged facts, which cannot have occurred under the laws of nature. If you put a, let me show you. Let me show you. Speaker did not fall out.